Welcome back to Becoming Whole with Thomas said. Today, we are going to deal with the mask. What is the mask, Thomas said? The mask is we have a face for everybody. And at the end of the day, we are losing who we are, who we were born to be, and who we were designed to be. I'm just going to say this right here. Anytime that we have to pretend to be somebody in order to get along with somebody, that's not going to work. You lose yourself, you can't grow, and it's impossible for you to have any peace. So we have to take the mask off, because taking the mask off says I'm ready to deal with the truth of who I am. I'm willing to deal with all the weaknesses and all the strength. I want to be whole. And how am I going to be whole if I'm living a lie, if I'm living an illusion, if I'm one face for somebody and I'm another face for somebody else? How can I? How could I get out of life everything that is designed for me to get out of life if I'm not willing to face that man in the mirror and be real? I know it can be scary to really, really want to look inside, but the truth be known, that is the only way to grow. That is the only way to be real with yourself. And furthermore, that is the only way you're going to be able to get delivered from people. Because until we are delivered from people, we would never be able to be any good for God. Because God said to fear not man. And also he said that he was a jealous God. So if you fear a man, God only wants you to fear him, but fear him with a reverence fear. So when we got these masks, that means we're giving our allegiance to somebody else's ideas, or who they want us to be, or who they need us to be. And that's not good. Being true to yourself, taking that mask off, also helps with our self-esteem. Because if we're not willing to be true to ourselves, that means we're not going to know ourselves. And that means we're going to have low self-esteem. And every Dick, Harry, and Tom that come to us, we're going to put them above how we feel about things. And that's just not good. That means you're going to continue to dim your light. Like I said, it is the truth that we know that sets us free. Let's take the mask off. It's time for us to get real. It's 2025. It's time for us to walk in all the promises that God has called for our lives. It's time to stop envy. It's time to stop being jealous. It's time for us to stop having low self-esteem. It's time for us to stop being negative. It's time for us to stop being fearful. But how can we be that? How can we actually do those things if we have it on mask? That means we're fooling ourselves. And as long as we fool ourselves, we don't grow. We stay the same. It's like God said, I got to feed you milk. You're like a little infant. I can't give you solid milk because you can't handle it. And see, that's why some of our prayers are not being answered, because we can't handle it. Because why would God give us something that we don't have the capacity to be able to receive it and appreciate it for what it is? If I give you something too early, you're going to take advantage of it. That's why we get in relationships, because we don't know who we are, and we attract people that don't know who they are, and then they take advantage of us, and then we're mad because we didn't do the work to get to know who we were so that we could have a standard and we could grow. And we would know when deception is coming to us, and we would know when that particular situation, whatever it is, whether a relationship, whether it is a job decision, or whether it is just the everyday common challenge that we go through, we would know how to see it in the right perspective that God would want us to see it in. But as a whole, like I said, we got to be real with ourselves. It's time to take the mask off. If we're going to get all what God has for our lives, we got to be true with ourselves. We got to be real with ourselves. We got to look at our motives and look at our hearts. And we got to be real with ourselves. Take that jealousy out your heart. Take that envy out your heart. Take that low self-esteem out your heart. Take anything that will hinder you from your walk with Christ. Get it out. Be real with yourself. Let's take these masks off. Anybody that you got to put a mask on for, you don't need them around you. We got to deal with the truths of who we are. We got to deal with the truths of who we are. We got to soul search. We're not going to change. Our hearts are not going to change. Our motives are not going to change unless we do the work of getting to know who we are and dealing with the ugliness of who we are. And that's going to take the word of God to change it. Like Cain and Abel. You know what I mean? Hey, that envy and that jealousy, that competition, that comparison, it's been since the beginning of time. These are the things that we have to look at. We got to look at our hearts with a whole lot of things. And we got to stop pretending. We got to stop pretending that we have it when we know we're not. We got to stop pretending that we got something we don't. We got to just stop pretending because that keeps us the same. Everybody needs to want to walk in their purpose and their destiny. And we can't do that when being fake and phony. To be happy for others, you have to be real for yourself. Real with yourself. And if you're not willing to do that work, then you're never going to be able to be real and you'll never get what God has for you. I hope y'all have a great day. I want y'all to be blessed. Please think about what I'm saying. Take those masks off. Look in that mirror and be real with yourself. Let's heal so that we can walk in the purposes and the destinies that God has called us to. If you like this message, please like, subscribe, put up those notifications, and let me know that you enjoyed this message. All right, y'all, let's be whole.